If your mind ever feels like a noisy, crowded room where thoughts argue, worries shout, and old feelings won't leave, you are in the right place. I'm here with you. We are going to walk together through simple, kind steps that help quiet the storm inside, not by forcing it to stop, but by learning to breathe beside it, understand it, and slowly take back the steering wheel. No big promises. No quick fixes. Just gentle tools, real understanding, and a lot of patience toward yourself. Whenever you're ready, let's begin. Chapter 1. Understanding Emotional Chaos. Have you ever felt like your mind is a busy street full of honking cars, people shouting, and thoughts rushing in every direction? One minute you're calm, and the next you're worried, angry, sad, or overwhelmed for no clear reason. That feeling is what many call emotional chaos. It's when your feelings take control and make life feel heavy and confusing. Most of us go through this at some point. You might start the day feeling okay, but then a small thing, like a comment from someone, a work message, or even an old memory, sends your emotions spinning. Your heart starts racing, your stomach tightens, or your mind keeps replaying the same thoughts on a loop. It's tiring. The great part is that we can learn to understand this chaos and handle it better. That's what this audiobook is all about. Let's look at what emotional chaos really means. Emotions are like signals from your body and mind. They let you know something important is going on. Joy says, "This feels good. Do more of it." Fear says, "Watch out. Something might be unsafe." Anger points out a limit has been crossed. Sadness tells you something you cared about is gone or changed. These signals are useful when they appear at the right moment and then fade away. Chaos starts when those signals get stuck, grow too big, or blend together in a messy way. Instead of gentle waves, your emotions crash over you repeatedly. You might get angry about something tiny, then feel bad for getting angry, or you worry about tomorrow, feel sad about yesterday, and get frustrated that you can't stop the cycle. It's like a storm in your head that refuses to pass. Why does this happen so often? Here are some usual reasons. Our world moves really fast these days. Phones ping all the time, lists of things to do never end. Social media shows everyone else's perfect moments, and there's pressure to do well at everything. Our brains weren't made for this much input and comparison non-stop. When too much comes in, emotions can overload. Also, lots of us grew up hearing that some feelings aren't okay. Things like "don't cry," "toughen up," "don't get so upset," or "anger isn't ladylike." When we learn to push feelings down, they don't vanish. They pile up inside like air in a balloon. Sooner or later the pressure escapes, often in bigger or surprising ways. Our thoughts matter a lot too. The words we say to ourselves shape our emotions. If your inner voice often says, "I'm not good enough," "things always go wrong," or "what if everything falls apart?" those thoughts spark fear, shame, or feeling stuck. Negative thinking habits can turn tiny concerns into huge emotional storms. Past experiences leave their marks as well. Difficult moments, losing someone close, being rejected, facing scary situations, or dealing with repeated hurts, can make your nervous system stay extra alert. It's like having a smoke alarm that goes off at the smell of toast. Normal daily things can trigger old feelings, making you react as if the old danger is here right now. All of this creates mental chaos. You feel torn in different directions. Part of you wants calm, but another part keeps worrying or replaying things. You might try to escape with work, phone scrolling, eating, or other habits, but the feelings return. Over time it drains you. You feel tired even after rest, struggle to concentrate, get irritated with loved ones, or stop enjoying things you used to love. Here's a gentle reminder. Emotional chaos doesn't mean you're broken or weak. It's your inner system trying to protect you and get your attention. The feelings get loud because they're asking to be heard. When we listen kindly instead of fighting them, change becomes possible. Many people believe the aim is to wipe out all uncomfortable emotions. That's not realistic or even good. Even tough feelings have a job to do. The true aim is emotional freedom, feeling whatever shows up without letting it take over completely. You can feel sad and still handle your day. You can feel angry and choose calm words. You can feel anxious and still take the next step. Freedom doesn't make you cold or without feelings. It makes you the one in charge. You notice the emotion, figure out its message, and choose your response instead of reacting on autopilot. In the chapters that follow, we'll walk through easy, practical ways to build this freedom. We'll cover simple techniques to settle your body, shift unhelpful thoughts, release old emotions, and create daily habits that grow inner strength. Everything will stay straightforward with steps you can try right away. For this chapter, just begin noticing. Watch for times when chaos appears. What happens in your body? Fast breathing? Tight jaw? Heavy feeling in your chest? What thoughts tag along? What happened right before it got intense? Don't rush to change anything yet. Simply watch like a friendly observer. This act of gentle noticing is powerful. It starts to loosen the grip of the storm. You might think, I've tried stuff like this before and it didn't stick. That's completely normal. Lots of people feel that way at the start. This time we are moving slowly, with patience and kindness toward ourselves. No need to do it perfectly. No pressure to fix it all quickly. Picture your mind as a garden. Right now it might have weeds of worry, doubt, and old pain growing wild. Emotional freedom is like learning to care for that garden with steady, gentle hands. You pull a weed here and there, plant seeds of calm and understanding, and let things grow in their own time. Some days it still looks messy, but with regular care it turns into a peaceful spot you enjoy being in. You deserve that kind of peace. You deserve to experience your emotions without them running the show. You deserve a mind that feels like a supportive friend instead of an opponent. Take a slow, easy breath right now. Let it out softly. Feel your body wherever it is, maybe feet on the floor, back against a chair. This moment is okay. You're here, taking this small step by listening to these words. Emotional chaos may have been around for a while, but it doesn't have to stay in charge forever. There's a way forward, and you're already walking it. Chapter 2. The Body-Emotion Connection. Your body and your emotions are like best friends who talk to each other all the time. When one feels something, the other responds right away. This connection is so close that many times, the fastest way to calm racing thoughts or heavy feelings is to start with your body. Think about a moment when you got really scared. Your heart pounded, your breathing got quick and shallow, your hands might have felt cold or sweaty, and maybe your stomach twisted. That physical reaction happened almost instantly, and then your mind jumped in with thoughts like something bad is going to happen, or I need to get out of here. The body spoke first, and the mind followed. This happens with every emotion. Anger makes your jaw tighten, your shoulders rise, and your hands clench. Sadness can bring a heavy chest, tired eyes, or a lump in your throat. Joy often feels light and open, with easier breathing and a natural smile. Anxiety might show up as a racing pulse, restless legs, or tension in your neck. Why does this matter for finding emotional freedom? Because if you only try to fix the thoughts in your head while ignoring your body, it's like mopping the floor during a rainstorm with the windows open. The storm keeps coming in. But when you help your body feel safer and calmer, your mind usually settles down too. Your nervous system plays the main role here. It has two big parts that work together: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic part is like the gas pedal. It turns on when there's a challenge or perceived danger. It speeds up your heart, makes breathing faster, sends blood to your muscles so you can run or fight, and sharpens your focus. This is the fight or flight mode. It's very useful when there's real danger, but in modern life, it often gets triggered by emails, arguments, deadlines, or even scrolling through upsetting news. The parasympathetic part is the brake pedal. It helps you rest, digest, recover, and feel calm. It slows your heart rate, deepens your breathing, relaxes muscles, and lets your body repair itself. This is often called rest and digest mode. Emotional chaos usually means the sympathetic system is stuck in on position too much of the time. Your body stays in alert mode even when there's no actual threat. Over weeks, months, or years, this wears you out. You feel wired but tired, jumpy, irritable, or numb. The good news is you can gently guide your nervous system back toward balance. You don't need fancy equipment or hours of time. Small, simple actions that signal safety to your body can start to quiet the inner storm. Here are a few easy ways to begin. First, focus on your breathing. Most people breathe shallowly from their chest when stressed. That keeps the body thinking danger is near. Slow, deep breaths from your belly send the opposite message. It's safe now. We can relax. Try this right now if you want. Place one hand on your belly. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts, letting your belly rise like a balloon filling with air. Hold for a second or 2 if it feels okay. Then breathe out through your mouth for 6 counts, letting your belly fall. Do this for just 1 minute. Notice if anything shifts even a little. Maybe your shoulders drop a bit, or your thoughts slow down. Another powerful tool is using your senses to bring you back to the present moment. When your mind is racing, it's usually living in the past or future. Your body is always in the now. So, use your 5 senses to anchor yourself. Look around and name 5 things you can see. Touch 4 things and notice their texture. Listen for 3 sounds. Smell 2 different scents. Taste 1 thing, even if it's just the inside of your mouth or a sip of water. This quick exercise pulls your attention out of mental loops and into your body and surroundings. Movement helps too. When emotions get stuck, they often get trapped in the body as tension. Gentle movement, like stretching, walking, shaking your arms and legs, or even dancing to a favorite song, can release that trapped energy. You don't have to do a full workout. Just 5 minutes of wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your shoulders, or swaying side to side can make a difference. Imagine you are shaking off water like a wet dog. It sounds silly, but it works because it tells your nervous system, the danger is over. We can let go. Touch is another simple way to calm. Place your hand over your heart or give yourself a gentle hug by crossing your arms and holding your shoulders. This activates a soothing reflex in your body. It reminds you of being comforted as a child. Even if it feels a bit awkward at first, many people find it surprisingly comforting after a few tries. Cold water on your face or holding something cold can also help. It stimulates the vagus nerve, which is a major player in turning on the parasympathetic brake. Splash your face with cold water or hold a cold pack to your neck for 20 to 30 seconds. It can interrupt intense emotions quickly. Pay attention to how you carry yourself. When you're upset, your posture often collapses. Shoulders forward, head down, arms crossed. Try the opposite for a minute. Stand or sit tall, shoulders back and down, chin slightly tucked, chest open. This power pose isn't about feeling powerful over others. It's about signaling safety and confidence to your own nervous system. All these small actions add up. They are not magic fixes, but they're reliable tools. The more you use them, the more your body learns that calm is possible even when feelings are strong. One thing to remember: be patient with yourself. If your nervous system has been in high alert for a long time, it won't switch off instantly. It's like training a muscle. At first it feels hard, but with regular gentle practice, it gets easier. Also, notice without judgment. If you try deep breathing and your mind keeps racing, that's okay. Just notice it kindly. My mind is busy right now. That's how it is in this moment. The noticing itself is part of calming down. In the coming chapters, we'll build on this body awareness. We'll look at how thoughts connect to these physical sensations, how to release old stored emotions, and how to create daily routines that keep your nervous system more balanced. For now, pick one small body-based practice to try today. Maybe it's 3 slow belly breaths when you notice tension, or a quick 5-sense check when thoughts start spinning, or a little shakeout when you feel stuck. Whatever you choose, do it with kindness toward yourself. You're not trying to force calm. You're inviting it, little by little. Chapter 3. Observing your thoughts without getting caught. Thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky of your mind. Some are light and fluffy, some dark and stormy, some fast, some slow. They come and go all day long. The trouble starts when we believe every thought is true and important, or when we fight against the ones we don't like. That's when emotional chaos grows stronger. In the last chapter, we saw how the body and emotions are closely linked. Now let's look at the thoughts that often drive those emotions. Learning to observe thoughts instead of being swept away by them is a key step toward emotional freedom. Most of us treat our thoughts as if they are facts. If the thought "I'm going to fail" shows up, we feel anxious as if failure is already happening. If "they don't like me" appears, we feel hurt or angry even without proof. Thoughts feel so real because they move fast and come with strong feelings attached. But thoughts are not the same as reality. They are mental events, stories, predictions, memories, judgments, plans. They can be helpful or unhelpful, accurate or completely made up. The skill we are building is to see them for what they are, passing mental activity, not absolute truth. This observing skill is often called mindfulness of thoughts. It doesn't mean stopping thoughts. That's impossible and not the goal. It means creating a little space between you and your thinking so you're not automatically carried away. Imagine your mind has two parts, the thinker and the watcher. The thinker produces the constant stream of thoughts. The watcher simply notices them without judging or getting involved. Most of the time we are identified with the thinker. We are the thoughts. Emotional freedom grows when we spend more time as the watcher. Here are some simple ways to start practicing this. First, label thoughts gently when they arise. When you notice worry, quietly say to yourself "worrying" or "planning" or "remembering." When self-criticism appears, note "judging" or "self-attacking." Naming takes away some of the power. It reminds you this is just a thought pattern, not me. You don't have to do this out loud or make it complicated. A soft mental whisper is enough. The label creates a tiny pause that lets you choose whether to follow the thought or let it pass. Another helpful practice is to picture thoughts as leaves floating down a stream. When a thought comes, imagine placing it on a leaf and watching it drift away. If another thought follows, put that one on the next leaf. This image helps you see thoughts as temporary and moving rather than solid and permanent. Or think of thoughts as cars passing on a highway. You're standing on a bridge watching them go by. Some are fast sports cars, angry thoughts, some slow trucks, sad memories, some noisy motorcycles, anxious what ifs. You don't have to jump on any of them. You can just watch. When a particularly strong or sticky thought grabs you, like "I can't handle this" or "everything is ruined," try asking simple questions. Is this thought helpful right now? What would I tell a good friend who had this thought? Is this 100% true? Or is it just a possibility? Has this thought ever been wrong before? These questions aren't meant to argue the thought away. They're just ways to loosen its grip so you can see it more clearly. It's important to be kind while doing this. If you catch yourself getting caught in a thought spiral and feel frustrated, "I can't even observe properly," that's another thought. Gently note self-criticism and return to watching. Many people find it easiest to practice this observing when emotions are mild rather than in the middle of a big storm. Start with short moments during the day, waiting in line, brushing your teeth, drinking water. Notice what your mind is saying without following it. Over time you'll notice patterns. Maybe certain thoughts show up more when you're tired, hungry, or alone. Maybe specific triggers, like seeing a certain person's name or thinking about money, bring the same old stories. Recognizing patterns helps you prepare. Okay, here comes the "I'm not good enough" story again. I know this one. You might also notice that fighting thoughts makes them stronger. If you tell yourself "stop thinking about that," the thought usually bounces back harder. It's like trying not to think of a pink elephant. Suddenly that's all you can think about. Accepting that thoughts will come, while choosing not to feed them with attention, works much better. This doesn't mean ignoring important thoughts. If something needs action, like a real problem at work or a health concern, observing first helps you respond more clearly instead of reacting from panic or anger. A daily practice many find useful is thought watching for 5 minutes. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you like, and just notice what thoughts appear. Don't try to make your mind blank. When you realize you've followed a thought for a while, gently bring attention back to noticing. That's the whole exercise, coming back again and again. At first your mind might wander every few seconds. That's normal. The strength isn't in never wandering. It's in the gentle returning. Each return builds the watcher muscle. As you get better at observing thoughts, you'll feel more space inside. Emotions still arise, but they don't have to take you on a long ride. You can feel the feeling, see the thought behind it, and decide what to do next from a calmer place. This skill connects back to the body work from the last chapter. When you notice a strong thought, check your body too. Where do you feel it? Tight chest? Racing heart? Naming both the thought and the body sensation makes everything feel more manageable. In the next chapter, we'll look at how old emotions can get stored in the body and mind, and gentle ways to let them move through instead of staying stuck. For now, give yourself credit for any moment today when you noticed a thought instead of automatically believing it. Even 1 second of watching is progress. Your mind has been working hard, producing thoughts non-stop to keep you safe and figure things out. Now you're teaching it a new way, to rest sometimes, to let thoughts pass without having to solve or fight every one. Chapter 4. Releasing old emotions that stay stuck. Sometimes the strongest waves of emotional chaos don't come from what's happening right now. They come from feelings that got tucked away long ago and never had a chance to finish their story. These old emotions live quietly in the background until something in the present reminds your body or mind of the past. Then suddenly you're flooded with intensity that feels too big for the current moment. This is normal. When we were younger, many of us didn't have the words, the safety, or the support to fully feel and move through difficult experiences. So the feelings got stored, like messages left on read that the nervous system keeps trying to deliver. Over time they can show up as sudden tears, unexplained anger, tightness in the chest, or a heavy sense of dread that doesn't match what's actually going on. The goal isn't to dig up every memory or force yourself to relive painful times. That can make things worse. Instead, we learn gentle ways to let those stored emotions move through the body so they lose their charge. When old feelings get to complete their natural cycle, they stop pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Think of an emotion like a wave in the ocean. It rises, reaches a peak, and then naturally falls back. Healthy emotional processing looks like that. The feeling builds, we feel it fully enough to understand its message, and then it fades on its own. When something interrupts that wave, maybe we distract ourselves, push it down, judge it, or get overwhelmed. The wave gets frozen mid-motion. Years later it can still feel as fresh and urgent as the day it got stuck. Common places where old emotions hide include the body, tight shoulders, shallow breathing, stomach knots, recurring thoughts, I'll always be alone, no one can be trusted, and automatic reactions, snapping at small things, freezing when criticized, avoiding closeness. The kindest way to begin releasing them is to create safety first. Your nervous system only lets stored feelings surface when it believes you're in a safe enough place to handle them. That's why the body calming practices from Chapter 2 matter so much here. When your breathing is slow, your posture open, and your environment feels secure, old emotions are more likely to rise gently instead of exploding. Here are a few simple, safe ways to start helping those stuck feelings move. One gentle approach is called feeling the feeling in the body. Instead of jumping straight to the story, this happened because, first notice where the emotion lives physically. Ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body right now? What is the sensation like? Pressure, heat, cold, tingling, heaviness, emptiness? Does it have a shape, a color, a texture if I imagine it? How big is it? Does it move or stay still? Just describing these details without trying to change them often softens the intensity. The body starts to realize the feeling is being met instead of avoided. Many times the sensation shifts, spreads, or begins to ease after a few minutes of friendly attention. Another helpful practice is giving the emotion a voice in a soft way. You can place your hand where you feel it strongest and quietly say things like, "I see you. You're allowed to be here. You've been carrying this a long time. It's safe to feel this now. I'm listening." These short sentences aren't meant to fix the feeling. They're a way of showing kindness to a part of you that may have felt ignored or unwelcome for years. Even if it feels strange at first, the tone of gentle acceptance sends a powerful safety signal. If tears, shaking, sighing, yawning, or warmth start to happen, let them. These are natural ways the body releases stored survival energy. Yawning and sighing especially help reset the nervous system. You don't have to make anything dramatic happen, just allow whatever wants to move. For some people, writing helps old emotions flow out. Grab a notebook and write whatever comes without worrying about grammar or making sense. You can start with, "Right now I'm feeling," or "the part of me that feels." Let the pen keep moving for 5 to 10 minutes. Afterward you can tear the page up or keep it, whatever feels right. The act of putting words to the feeling often loosens its grip. Movement can also unlock stuck places. Things like slow stretching while breathing deeply, gentle rocking back and forth, or even humming a low sound can help. The vibration from humming travels through the body and stimulates calming nerves. Place a hand on your chest or belly while you hum to make it more soothing. One thing to watch for: if an old feeling starts to feel too big or overwhelming, slow everything down. Return to slow belly breathing. Name 5 things you can see around you. Hold something solid like a cushion or your own arms. Remind yourself of the present date and place. You're not abandoning the feeling. You're giving your system a break so it can come back to it more gently later. Be patient with the pace. Some emotions release in small layers over days or weeks. Others shift more quickly. There's no correct speed. What matters is consistent kindness toward whatever shows up. You might notice after a release that your body feels lighter, you're breathing easier, or your mind quieter. Sleep might improve, or you might react less strongly to certain triggers. These are signs the old energy is moving out. It's also common to feel a bit tender or tired afterward. Treat yourself the way you treat a friend after a big emotional moment. Rest, warm drink, kind words, maybe a walk in fresh air. In the chapters ahead we'll talk about building daily habits that prevent new emotions from getting stuck, and ways to respond to people and situations from a clearer, calmer place. For today, try one small thing. The next time a strong feeling arrives, whether it seems connected to now or to the past, pause for a moment. Place a hand where you feel it most, take 3 slow breaths, and say something soft like "I'm here with you" or "This is welcome to move through." That's all. No need to analyze or solve it. Just meeting it with presence and care starts the release. Old emotions stayed because they were protecting you the best way they knew how. Now you're offering them a different path, one where they can finish their journey and let you live more freely in the present. Chapter 5. Building Daily Habits for Inner Calm. Emotional freedom isn't something you achieve once, and then it's done forever. It's more like tending a small fire. You keep adding gentle fuel so it stays warm and steady instead of flaring up wildly or dying out. The most powerful way to do this is through simple daily habits that support your body, mind, and emotions over time. These habits don't need to be big or perfect. They're small, repeatable actions that slowly rewire how you respond to stress and feelings. Think of them as quiet daily deposits into your calm account. Over weeks and months the balance grows, and you notice you're less easily thrown off center. Here are some gentle, practical habits to start with. Pick 1 or 2 that feel doable right now. No need to try them all at once. Start the day with a calm anchor, 3 to 5 minutes. Before checking your phone or jumping into tasks, give yourself a short moment of quiet connection. Sit up in bed or on a chair. Place one hand on your belly and one on your heart, and take 5 slow breaths. You can add a soft intention like "Today I choose kindness toward myself," or simply notice how your body feels in this moment. This tiny pause sets a tone of presence instead of rushing. It tells your nervous system, we are starting from a safe place. Move your body every day in a way that feels good. Movement clears stuck energy and helps regulate emotions. It doesn't have to be intense exercise. A 10-minute walk outside, gentle stretching while listening to music, dancing in your kitchen, or even swaying while you brush your teeth counts. The key is consistency and enjoyment rather than pushing hard. Notice how your mood shifts afterward, often lighter, clearer, more grounded. Create regular check-in moments. 3 times a day, maybe morning, midday, and evening. Pause for 30 seconds to ask yourself, how am I feeling in my body right now? What thoughts are loudest? What do I need in this moment? Water, a stretch, a kind word, a break. This quick scan prevents small tensions from building into bigger chaos. It's like checking the weather inside before a storm gathers. Practice one body-soothing tool when you notice rising tension. From Chapter 2, pick your favorite. Slow belly breathing, cold water on your face, a self-hug, shaking out your arms. Use it as soon as you feel the first signs of overwhelm. Faster breathing, tight chest, racing thoughts. The earlier you catch it, the easier it is to settle. Over time your body learns these signals mean time for calm instead of danger ahead. End the day with a gentle wind down. The hour before sleep is powerful for emotional processing. Dim lights, avoid screens if possible, and do something slow and comforting. Read a light book, journal a few lines about what felt good today, listen to calm music, or do a short body scan. Slowly bring attention from toes to head, noticing and softening any tension. This helps old emotions surface and release during sleep instead of carrying over to tomorrow. Write down 3 things you're grateful for or 3 small wins. Even on hard days, find tiny positives. I made tea just the way I like it. I took 3 deep breaths when I felt upset. The sun came out for a minute. This trains your mind to notice safety and goodness alongside the challenges. It doesn't erase difficulties. It balances the lens so emotions don't tip so far into darkness. Limit emotional overload from outside sources. Be mindful of how much news, social media, or heated conversations you take in. Set loose boundaries, like no phone in the first hour after waking, or 20 minutes of scrolling max in the evening. Replace some of that time with something nourishing. A walk, talking to a friend, listening to birds, or sitting quietly. Protecting your nervous system from constant input leaves more space for your own feelings to settle. Speak to yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a dear friend. When a harsh inner voice appears, "You're so stupid. You'll never get this right." Pause and try a softer reply. "This is hard right now. I'm doing my best. It's okay to feel this." You don't have to believe the kind words fully at first. Just saying them plants seeds. Over time they start to feel more natural. These habits work best when tied to existing routines, so they're easier to remember. For example, belly breaths while the kettle boils. Gratitude list while brushing teeth at night. Quick body scan before getting out of bed. Walk after lunch. Keep a simple note on your phone or a small notebook. List the 1 or 2 habits you're focusing on this week. At the end of the day, put a tiny check mark if you did them. No judgment if you miss a day, just gentle encouragement to try again tomorrow. Expect that some days the habits will feel easy and helpful, and other days they'll feel pointless or hard. That's normal. Emotional patterns built over years don't shift overnight. The power comes from showing up anyway, even imperfectly. As these habits become more automatic, you'll likely notice changes. You catch tension earlier and calm it faster. Old triggers lose some of their punch. You feel more space between feeling and reaction, rest feels deeper, moods more stable. You're not trying to become someone who never feels upset or stressed. That's not realistic or even desirable. The aim is to feel the full range of emotions while staying connected to a steady, kind center inside you. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to handle difficult interactions with others from this calmer place. How to set boundaries, communicate clearly, and protect your peace without shutting down or exploding. For today, choose just one small habit to try. Maybe the morning breaths or the evening wind down. Do it once, notice how it feels, and decide if you want to keep it. Chapter 6. Handling difficult interactions with calm. Even with the best daily habits and inner tools, other people can still stir up strong emotions. A sharp comment, an unfair request, repeated small annoyances, or a big conflict can quickly pull you back toward mental chaos. The difference now is that you have more choices. You can respond from a calmer, clearer place instead of reacting on autopilot. This chapter is about protecting your peace during interactions while staying connected and honest. Emotional freedom includes the freedom to be real with others without losing yourself in the process. Difficult moments with people usually follow a few common patterns. Someone criticizes you, and old feelings of not being good enough rush in. A loved one withdraws, triggering fear of abandonment. A co-worker takes credit for your work, sparking anger or resentment. In each case, the present situation touches something deeper, often an old wound we explored in Chapter 4. The first step is always to notice what's happening inside you before you speak or act. That tiny pause is powerful. When you feel the familiar signs, tight chest, faster heartbeat, hot face, racing thoughts, use one of your body-soothing tools right away. 3 slow belly breaths, a hand on your heart, feet pressing into the floor. This interrupts the automatic reaction and gives you a moment to choose. Next, name what you're feeling to yourself quietly. I'm feeling hurt. Anger is here. I'm scared this means something bad. Naming reduces the intensity and reminds you that the emotion is a visitor, not your whole identity. Then ask yourself a gentle question. What do I need right now to stay grounded? It might be space, kind self-talk, a reminder that you're safe, or simply noticing that the other person is probably acting from their own stress or pain. With that small foundation of calm, you can decide how to respond. Here are some simple approaches that help keep your peace while still being clear and respectful. Use I statements instead of you accusations. Instead of you always make me feel small, try when that comment was made, I felt dismissed and hurt. The I version shares your experience without putting the other person on the defensive. It opens the door for understanding rather than argument. Set a clear, kind boundary when needed. Boundaries aren't walls. They're ways to say what works for you and what doesn't. Examples: I need a few minutes to think about this before we continue. I'm not okay with raised voices. Let's talk when we are both calmer. I can listen, but I won't accept name-calling. Speak these calmly and firmly, like stating a simple fact. You don't need to justify or apologize for protecting your well-being. Pause before responding to triggering words or tones. Count to 5 silently, take a breath, then reply. That short delay often changes everything. It stops the old pattern of snapping back or shutting down. Many times the other person softens when they see you're not escalating. Validate their feelings even when you disagree. You can acknowledge someone's emotion without agreeing with their point. I can see this is really upsetting for you. It sounds like you're frustrated about how this turned out. This lowers tension and keeps the conversation human instead of combative. Know when to step away. If things are getting too heated and your calm is slipping, it's okay to say, I care about sorting this out, but right now emotions are high. Let's take a break and come back to it later. Then physically remove yourself if possible. Step into another room, go for a short walk, or end a call politely. Coming back later with a clearer head almost always leads to better outcomes. After the interaction, give yourself space to process. Take a few minutes alone to breathe, shake out tension, or write down what came up. Ask, what old feeling got touched? Did I stay as grounded as I could? What did I do well? What would I like to do differently next time? This reflection turns every difficult moment into a chance to grow stronger. Remember that other people's reactions are mostly about them, their stress, fears, past hurts. When someone acts unkindly, it's rarely a true measure of your worth. Holding that truth gently helps you take things less personally. You don't have to fix every relationship or win every argument. Sometimes the most freeing choice is to care for your own peace and let the other person have their experience. You can love someone, work with someone, or share space with someone and still protect your inner calm. Practice these skills first in lower stakes moments, like a minor disagreement with a friend or a slightly annoying comment online. The more you use them when the emotions are small, the easier they become when the stakes feel higher. Over time you'll notice something wonderful. Difficult interactions lose some of their power to derail you. You still feel the sting, the anger, the sadness, but it doesn't take over as completely or last as long. You recover faster and return to your steady center. This doesn't make you cold or distant. It actually makes you more present, because you're no longer lost in reaction. You can listen better, speak more honestly, and connect more authentically. In the next chapter we'll look at forgiveness, not as something you do for others, but as a gift you give yourself to lighten the load of old resentments and hurts. For now, the next time someone pushes a button, try this simple sequence. Notice your body and breathe. Name the feeling quietly. Ask what you need to stay grounded. Choose a calm response, or choose space if that's wiser. Even one small shift like that is a victory. You're teaching yourself that you can handle hard moments without losing your peace. Chapter 7. The Gift of Self-Forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many people think it means saying what happened was okay, or letting someone off the hook who hurt you. But when it comes to emotional freedom, the most powerful forgiveness is the one you give yourself. Self-forgiveness is about releasing the heavy burden of self-blame, shame, and regret that keeps old emotional chaos alive inside you. It's not about excusing harmful actions, it's about accepting that you are human, you made choices with the awareness and resources you had at the time, and you deserve to be free from carrying punishment forever. Why do we hold on to self-blame so tightly? Usually because part of us believes that if we punish ourselves enough, through guilt, harsh inner criticism, or repeating "I should have known better," we'll prevent the same mistake again. Or we think we don't deserve peace until we've suffered enough for what we did or didn't do. The truth is, endless self-punishment doesn't make us better. It keeps us stuck in the same emotional patterns. It drains energy that could be used for growth, kindness, and living more fully now. Self-forgiveness breaks that cycle. It says, what happened, happened. I felt what I felt. I did what I did based on who I was then. I can learn from it, make amends where possible, and still treat myself with compassion. Let's look at common areas where self-forgiveness is needed. Past mistakes in relationships, words spoken in anger, times you withdrew when someone needed you, choices that hurt others or yourself. Decisions that led to loss, jobs left, opportunities missed, paths not taken. Moments of weakness, habits you fell into, boundaries you didn't hold, times you betrayed your own values. Not being good enough, as a parent, partner, friend, worker, or person in general. In each case, the mind replays the scene, adds commentary like "how could you?" or "you'll never change," and the body responds with heaviness, tightness, or that familiar sinking feeling. To start the process of self-forgiveness, begin small and gentle. First, acknowledge the truth without judgment. Sit quietly and say to yourself something like, "I did that. It caused pain. I wish it had been different." Just stating facts without piling on shame creates space. You're no longer fighting reality. Second, understand the context of who you were then. Ask, what was going on in my life at that time? What fears, stresses, or unmet needs influenced my choice? What did I not know yet that I know now? This isn't making excuses, it's seeing the full picture. Most hurtful actions come from pain, fear, exhaustion, or ignorance, not from being a bad person. Third, feel the emotion that's attached to the memory. Let sadness, regret, or anger be there for a moment without rushing to fix it. Place a hand where you feel it in your body. Breathe into it. Say quietly, "This hurt is here. It's okay to feel it." Allowing the feeling to move often softens the need to punish yourself. Fourth, offer yourself the kindness you would give someone you care about. Imagine a younger version of you, the one who made the mistake. See them clearly, maybe scared, confused, trying their best under hard circumstances. Speak to that younger self. "You were doing what made sense to you then. I see how hard it was. I forgive you. You're allowed to be imperfect." Even if it feels awkward, the words carry healing. Fifth, make a small commitment to growth instead of punishment. Ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I act differently now or in the future? Is there a way to make amends? An apology, a changed behavior, a kind act?" Taking positive action shifts energy from regret to repair and learning. Sixth, release the story when it returns. Old regrets love to replay on loop. When the familiar guilt wave arrives, notice it kindly. "Here comes that old story again." Then gently redirect, "I've already looked at this. I've forgiven myself as best I can today. I choose to let this go now." Use a soothing breath or hand on heart to anchor back to the present. Forgiveness is a process, not a one-time event. Some things take many small forgiving moments over time. Be patient. If harsh self-talk returns, don't fight it. Just notice and return to kindness. What happens when you practice self-forgiveness regularly? Shame loses its grip, so old triggers sting less. You have more energy for the present instead of carrying yesterday's weight. You're kinder to others because you're no longer so hard on yourself. Mistakes feel like part of being human rather than proof of failure. Self-forgiveness doesn't erase the past or make consequences disappear. It simply stops you from adding extra suffering on top of what already happened. A short daily practice many find helpful. At the end of the day, think of one thing you wish you'd done differently. Say 3 simple sentences. "I did the best I could with what I knew then. I forgive myself for not being perfect. I'm learning and growing." That's it. No long analysis needed. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how to bring more joy and lightness into daily life, and how to hold on to this freedom even when bigger challenges come. Chapter 8. Inviting more joy and lightness. Emotional freedom isn't only about quieting the storms, it's also about making room for sunshine. When the heavy feelings have less grip, there's space for lighter, warmer emotions to show up more often. Joy, contentment, curiosity, playfulness, and simple moments of ease don't have to be rare treats. They can become part of your everyday experience. Many of us grew up believing that joy is something we earn after hard work, or that it's selfish to seek it when others are struggling, or that it's only for special occasions. But joy isn't a reward, it's a natural state your body and mind are built for. When you practice releasing chaos and tending your inner calm, joy starts to slip back in through the cracks. The aim here isn't forced positivity or pretending everything is perfect. It's gently turning your attention toward what feels good, nourishing, and alive, without ignoring the harder parts. It's learning to hold both the difficult and the delightful at the same time. Here are simple ways to invite more lightness into your days. Notice small good moments as they happen. Your brain is wired to pay more attention to threats than to pleasures. It kept our ancestors alive. To balance that, you can train it to notice the pleasant too. When something feels even slightly good, a warm drink in your hands, sunlight on your face, a kind word, laughter in the next room, the smell of rain, pause for 3 seconds. Really feel it in your body. Let the sensation spread. Whisper to yourself, "This is nice." These micromoments add up and slowly shift your baseline mood towards steadier ease. Bring curiosity instead of judgment. When a new feeling or experience arrives, try meeting it with "I wonder," rather than "this should be." I wonder what this tastes like, while eating slowly. I wonder how my body feels after this walk. I wonder what would happen if I smiled right now. Curiosity opens doors to discovery and play. It softens the inner critic and lets life feel fresher. Reconnect with things that used to light you up. Think back to childhood or teenage years. What made your eyes sparkle? Drawing, music, dancing in your room, building things, being in nature, telling stories, animals, silly games? Even if those exact things don't fit your life now, find small echoes of them. Hum a favorite old song while cooking. Doodle on a napkin. Watch clouds for a minute. Play with a pet or a child. These little returns to what feels alive remind your nervous system that safety can include delight. Move your body in playful ways. Joy lives in motion. Put on music and sway, bounce, or wiggle for just one song. No choreography needed. Jump on the spot like you're avoiding imaginary lava. Stretch like a cat waking up. Shake your hands and feet as if flicking off water. Playful movement releases feel-good chemicals and tells your body we are allowed to feel light. Create tiny rituals of pleasure. Make your morning coffee or tea a small ceremony. Notice the color, the steam, the warmth on your lips. Light a candle for 5 minutes in the evening just because it smells nice. Wear something soft that feels good against your skin. Arrange a few flowers or pretty stones where you can see them. These small sensory treats signal to your nervous system that the world can be kind and beautiful. Laugh on purpose sometimes. Laughter doesn't always need a reason. Watch a short funny video, recall a silly memory, make a goofy face in the mirror, or read something absurd. Even fake laughter, ha 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 out loud, tricks your body into releasing tension and producing happy hormones. After a minute it often turns real. Practice saying yes to small invitations of joy. When a friend suggests a walk, when you notice an urge to sing along to a song, when you feel like lying on the grass and looking at the sky, say yes if it's safe and possible. Too often we dismiss these gentle pulls because there's work to do or it's not practical. Honoring them builds trust with yourself that your feelings matter. Share joy when it shows up. Tell someone that made me smile, or send a quick message about something funny you saw, or simply smile at a stranger. Sharing doesn't dilute the feeling, it often multiplies it. You don't have to be loud or performative, just let a bit of lightness leak out. When heavier emotions are present, make space for both. You can feel sad and still notice the softness of your blanket. You can feel anxious and enjoy the taste of food. Holding opposites at once is a sign of growing freedom. Life isn't all or nothing. Joy can visit even on cloudy days. A simple daily practice to grow lightness. At the end of the day, or anytime, name 3 things that brought even a tiny spark of good feeling. They can be as small as the way the light came through the window, or breathing deeply when I felt tense, or hearing birds. Write them, say them out loud, or just think them with warmth. This habit gently rewires your attention toward what's nourishing. Over time, these small invitations change the inner landscape. The background noise of worry or heaviness gets quieter, and moments of ease, contentment, and genuine gladness become more familiar. You start to trust that calm and joy can coexist, that you don't have to choose between being serious and being happy. In the final chapter, we'll bring everything together. How to keep returning to this sense of freedom even when life throws bigger waves your way. For today, pick one small way to invite lightness. Maybe pause to feel the sun, or warm lamp, on your skin for 10 seconds. Maybe play one favorite song and move however it feels good. Maybe notice one pleasant thing right now and let it sink in. Chapter 9. Staying free when life gets heavy. You've come a long way in these pages. You've learned to recognize emotional chaos when it arrives, to calm your body first, to watch thoughts without believing every one, to release old feelings that were never fully felt, to build small daily habits that protect your peace, to handle difficult people with more steadiness, to forgive yourself, and to make space for joy even on ordinary days. These are not just nice ideas, they are real tools that work when you use them. But life doesn't always stay gentle. Bigger waves come. Serious loss, health scares, financial stress, betrayal, sudden change, or long seasons where nothing seems to improve. In those times it can feel like every skill you've practiced disappears, like the calm you've built gets washed away. This final chapter is about what to do when the water rises. How to keep returning to emotional freedom even when the storm feels stronger than you are. The most important truth to hold when things get heavy is this: you don't have to be calm all the time to be free. Freedom isn't the absence of strong feelings. It's the ability to feel them fully and still know you have choices. You can be shaken and still come back to yourself. You can fall apart for a while and still find your way home. Here is how to stay connected to what you've learned when the pressure is high. Return to the simplest anchor you have when everything feels overwhelming. Go back to the most basic thing that has ever helped. For many people, that's just 3 slow belly breaths. Nothing fancy, no long meditation, no perfect posture. Just hand on belly, breathe in for 4, out for 6 or 8, repeat 3 times. Do it standing in the kitchen, sitting in your car, lying on the floor. That small act reminds your nervous system, we've done this before. We can do it again. One anchor repeated often is more powerful than 10 techniques used once. Allow the fall without adding shame when chaos takes over. The mind often piles on extra suffering. I should be better at this by now. I've failed at emotional freedom. All that work was for nothing. Notice that voice, then gently disagree. This is a hard moment. It's allowed to feel this hard. Falling doesn't erase what I've learned. It's part of being human. Let yourself be messy for a bit. The quicker you stop judging the fall, the faster you can stand up again. Shrink your world to the next small step. Big problems feel impossible. Future worries feel endless. In those moments, make your world very small. Ask only, what is the next tiny thing I can do to take care of myself right now? Maybe it's drinking water, stepping outside for 1 minute, texting someone safe, wrapping yourself in a blanket, or saying out loud, this is a lot. One small caring action creates a foothold. From there you can take the next one. Lean on your body when your mind won't cooperate. Thoughts can become a storm of their own. Catastrophizing, blaming, looping. When that happens, shift attention to physical sensation. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Hold something solid, a mug, a pillow, your own arms. Rub your hands together until they feel warm. These simple body signals pull you out of mental spirals and back into the present, where you can breathe again. Accept that freedom has seasons. Some days you'll feel steady and light. Other days you'll feel raw and unsteady. Both are part of the path. You don't lose your progress because a difficult season arrives. Think of emotional freedom like a deep root system. Storms bend the branches, sometimes break them, but the roots keep growing deeper. You are stronger than the weather of any single moment. Reach out when you need to. No one walks through heavy times completely alone. Reach for someone who feels safe. A friend, family member, therapist, support group, even a kind voice on a podcast or a pet that lets you cry into their fur. Asking for support isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Sometimes just saying today is hard to another person lightens the load enough to keep going. Keep one small daily habit alive. No matter what, even when everything else feels impossible, try to protect one tiny habit. 5 minutes of quiet breathing. A short walk. Writing 3 things you're grateful for, even if they're as small as I'm still breathing. 1 line in a journal. That single thread of care keeps you tethered to yourself. When the storm eases, you'll find the rest of your practices waiting right where you left them. Trust the return. Every time you've come back to calm before, you've proven you can do it again. Even if it takes longer this time, even if you need more tears or more rest or more help, the return is still possible. Your system remembers the feeling of settling. It knows the shape of safety. Trust that memory. When the wave finally begins to recede, and it will, you'll notice something quiet and beautiful. You didn't just survive the storm, you grew through it. You'll carry a deeper kindness toward yourself, a steadier trust that you can handle hard things, and a clearer sense of what really matters to you. Emotional freedom isn't a perfect state you finally reach. It's a living relationship with yourself, one you keep choosing, day after day, storm after storm, sunlit moment after sunlit moment. You've already started that relationship. You've already shown up for yourself in these pages, in every breath you've taken while listening, in every small act of noticing and kindness. That matters more than you may realize right now. So keep going. Keep breathing. Keep returning. Keep being gentle with the part of you that's still learning. Chapter 10. Living with Emotional Freedom Every Day. You've reached the end of these chapters, but the real beginning is now. Emotional freedom isn't a destination you arrive at and then unpack your bags forever. It's a way of walking through life, step by step, day by day, feeling what comes, choosing how to meet it, and always returning to kindness toward yourself. From the first moment you noticed the storm of mental chaos, to the quiet times when joy slipped in unexpectedly, you've been building something lasting. Not a perfect state of constant peace, but a flexible, resilient relationship with your own heart and mind. That relationship grows stronger every time you pause to breathe, every time you name a feeling instead of fighting it, every time you forgive yourself a little more gently, every time you let a small spark of lightness touch you. Living with emotional freedom looks like many ordinary things. It looks like waking up on a difficult morning, feeling the familiar weight in your chest, and instead of spiraling into "why am I like this again?" you place a hand there and whisper, "Okay, you're here. Let's take this one breath at a time." It looks like hearing a harsh word from someone and feeling the old sting rise, yet choosing to count 5 slow breaths before replying, or choosing silence if that's wiser. It looks like catching yourself in the middle of a self-critical loop and saying, almost with a small smile, "There's that old story again. I don't have to follow it today." It looks like noticing tension in your shoulders during a busy day and stretching them gently, or stepping outside for 2 minutes just to feel the air move across your face. It looks like letting yourself cry when grief visits, without rushing to fix it, and then letting yourself laugh at something silly the next hour because both are allowed. It looks like saying no to things that drain you, not out of anger, but out of quiet respect for your own limits. It looks like saying yes to tiny pleasures, a warm shower, a favorite song, a slow sip of tea, without needing to earn them. Most of all, it looks like treating yourself the way a patient, loving friend would, with understanding when you stumble, encouragement when you try again, and genuine gladness when you feel steady. You will still have hard days. Emotions will still rise, sometimes big, sometimes confusing, sometimes seemingly out of nowhere. That's not failure. That's being alive. The measure of your freedom isn't how rarely you feel those waves. It's how quickly and kindly you meet them, ride them, and return to your center afterward. Keep your toolbox close, not as rules you must follow perfectly, but as gentle companions you can turn to whenever needed. The breath that brings you back to your body, the watcher that sees thoughts drift by like clouds, the hand on your heart that says you're allowed to feel this, the small daily habit that reminds you you're worth care, the soft "I forgive you" you offer yourself, the curious "I wonder" that opens the door to lightness. Use whichever one fits the moment. Mix them, skip them, come back to them. There's no wrong way as long as you keep showing up for yourself. As time passes, you may notice the background noise of chaos growing quieter. Not gone completely, because life keeps bringing new things to feel, but less loud, less constant. Triggers that once sent you spinning lose some of their force. Old stories fade from daily replays to occasional visitors. Your body learns it can settle more easily. Your mind learns it doesn't have to solve every feeling right away. And in the spaces between the heavier moments, more ease settles in. More spontaneous smiles. More moments where you simply feel okay, maybe even good, for no special reason. That quiet contentment is one of the greatest gifts of this work. You don't need to be anyone different from who you are right now. You're already enough. The practices in these chapters aren't about becoming a new person. They're about uncovering the steady, kind, capable person who was always here underneath the noise. Take this audiobook with you like a small, trusted friend. Come back to any chapter when you need a reminder. Re-listen to a single section on a tough day. Or just remember one simple phrase, "I'm here with you," or "this too can pass," and let it be enough for that moment. Wherever you go from here, carry this gentle truth. You are allowed to feel everything. You are allowed to choose calm. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to enjoy. You are allowed to be imperfect and still be free. Emotional freedom is yours, not as a prize you finally won, but as a way of being you keep choosing, one honest, compassionate moment at a time. Thank you for trusting this journey. Thank you for being willing to meet yourself with kindness again and again. May your days hold more ease than struggle, more lightness than weight, and always, always, a deep, quiet knowing that you are safe with yourself. You've got this. And you've got you.